Y'all good tonight? How many remember what our new series is that we've been teaching about? Did y'all enjoy last week? I went back and looked at the video. I'm like, bro, you was a little too hyped. Like, I was really, really hyped last week. But I'm super excited tonight. I told y'all that I was going to continue, just kind of continue my talk from last week and kind of continue tonight. So I'm going to sit down tonight. Is that fine, everybody? I may get up and flip and hop, but that's what I think that's what I'm going to do. But, so walk it like he taught it is really the perspective of understanding, you know, who God is to you and what God says about you and how God feels about you and like the thing that God wants you to do for your life. And the thing that I've understood is that I can do stuff in my power, my pace, my strength, but I have to make sure that anything that I do it with God, because when I do something with God, God is the one that sustains everything that I do because I'm grounded and I'm surrounded by Him. And when I'm grounded and surrounded by Him, I have to make sure that my grounding is not in who I am, my grounding is not in what I do, but my grounding is in the sovereignty of our God. Jeremiah 1:5, it says, before I formed you, I knew you, and I appointed you prophets to the nation. That's one thing I always say we come here because I want y'all to know, if you don't know nothing that we do here, it doesn't matter what you may have done or doing or may do up until this point. God says, I already knew you. God says, I already had a plan, a purpose, and a desire over your heart. And when God has a plan, purpose, and desire over your heart, it don't matter who leave your life, it don't matter what situation comes, God trumps every situation. And one thing I've learned too is, and I said a lot, is that you have opportunity and you have obstacle, right? So we know that the Bible says if God be for us, who can be against us? And so when an opportunity comes in my life, I'm wondering, is it God or is it me? But when an obstacle comes, a lot of times when obstacles come, how many of us want to pray when obstacles happen in our life? Oh, well, that's good. I thought I was going to say no. But like a lot of times when things and the weight of pressure happen in my life, I always don't want to talk to God because I'm pissed off at God because I feel like God made the situation. Everybody ever been pissed off at God? Okay, well, I be pissed off at it all the time. So that's that. Y'all been pissed off at it before? You're like, God, bro, like I'm doing everything right. And I'm going to tell you, the evidence that you're doing something right is the evidence of trouble in your life. Because if God, I'm about to fall. Let me sit there. If God, y'all probably would have slid down here, y'all would have laughed at me. If God cannot come in and test you and give you pressure when you're going through something in your life, how can He build something out of you? A lot of us want to be successful. A lot of us want, and I'm going to tell you tonight, this is more so, I don't got no scripture for you tonight, or nothing, okay? I'm just talking from what God has given me, all right? That's cool? So a lot of us want to be successful, and a lot of us want to reach a place that God has called us to. But if we do not do the proper procedure, and if we do not, like, be strong enough to do it, some of us are too weak to be successful. You let what somebody say about you on Instagram determine your fate. And if you respond to every hater, you now consume yourself to the smallness of who they are. Because some people are just lack in themselves, and so you becoming big make them smaller. And you have to understand that when God is calling you something great, pressure is going to come. Situations are going to come in your life. Different things are going to happen in your life. But it's how you respond to pressure that builds the stamina and the desire to be something great. Let me ask you something. What if where you are right now, the pressure you're in, what if that's the prerequisite for God to push you to success? Because the prerequisite of God is not always based off of things that are easy. Like, bro, I don't want nothing easy. Because when I get something hard, that means that I fought for it. That means that this didn't just come overnight. That means that I put some in. You know, I was watching this thing about, I told you I was starting to work out. It didn't work out for me, but I was starting to work out. And the thing why I always quit because I'm like, bro, first of all, my trainer, he was doing too much. That's the first thing. But I always was like, bro, like my arms are hurting the next morning. You ever worked out and you wake up and you like this? I had to brush my teeth like this. I couldn't even do it. And that always stopped me from going back to the gym. But if I wanted to see the result of muscle or the result of my body being a certain way, I gotta go through pain. I gotta go through the pressure. And a lot of times the pressure, it precedes the purpose that God has on your life. And so you have to make sure that when you're facing something, man, and when you go through these keys I'm going to give you tonight, pressure going to come. People tell you when you get saved, you're not going to have no issues. Lies. You're going to have a lot of issues when you get saved. Big facts and lies. People gonna talk about you. People gonna say all types of the devil gonna come at you. But one thing I've understood, y'all, is this: the devil do not fight people on his team. He fight people that are opposed to his team. And so if the devil is fighting you right now, that may be God is saying, I'm with you. That may be God is saying, like, you're not by yourself. And a lot of times when things are going good, we forget to pray. And I tell you, man, you have to, everybody say, I need stored up prayers. Let me tell you what a stored up prayer is. A stored up prayer is, let's just say everything is going good in my life. So what I try to do is I say, God, I thank you so much for the blessings you bestowed upon my life. I thank you even right now, God, that when something happened next week, I've already won victory because I'm near you. Remember I talked about planning? That's what I say. So when a situation comes into my life that I don't expect, that's when I may not always feel like praying. But God says, because you have a prayer in file, I now can use that prayer to bring you out of the situation. Like, y'all ever been going through something and the situation had your mind, but you came out on top? It wasn't because you're so great, because we're not that great. It's because God says, I'm fighting for you beyond what you can do in your life. Are you listening to me? And so you got to make sure, man, that as you walk this way in life, that you got to make sure that God is first. And so last week we talked about making sure that we understand where God is in our life and making sure we understand the ability to trust God. We did Jeremiah 1:5, Hebrews 11:1, where it talks about trusting God. Hebrews 11:1 said, now faith is substance of things hoped for, evidence of things I don't see. So I'm going to tell you, if you start a business, if you singing, if you dating, whatever you're doing, you're not going to see the success of it when you start. You're not. And you have to, everybody say, my why. When you have your why, man, let me tell you, so I'm going to just tell you what helps me and just give you practicality. I would love for this room to be packed to capacity. But no cap, if just this row came, I would have sat right here and I would have talked, just like I'm doing now. Because I understand why God called me to something. A lot of times people quit because they don't know why God called them to it. A lot of times people, they want success and they reach for success. And so when success don't come, when the numbers, the money, the things don't show up, they quit because they haven't reached the acclaim of where they called to. But when you understand your why, you say a person and their assumption, their opinion don't determine the level of practicality or the level of excellence I'm going to put on what I do. Because I understand why God called me to this thing. And I want y'all to know that it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It doesn't matter what you're facing. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do. If God has given you a desire. So you may be saying, Quinton, how do I know God gave me the desire? That's a good question. And a lot of times the way that you know God gave you the desire is where God is. I heard a preacher say God only pays the bills that he said something, but it sounded right. He said, God only, let me just say it my way. God only provides for the bills that he requests. So if God called you something, you're going to have peace about it. He's going to take care of you with it. And so you have to make sure that when you're doing your destiny and your purpose, and it's so pertinent when we're in school. Like, a lot of times, we go for what makes us money, but we're not in our purpose. And I'm going to tell you, the depth to your destiny is missing your purpose. If you miss your purpose, man, your purpose is not wrapped up in what your family think you should do. Like, you be like, you can do that, but I don't have to do that. My purpose is wrapped up in what God has called me to. I'm going to tell you, you may not believe it, I did not want to be a preacher. I know it. She's like, wow. I did. I'm like, God, I'll just serve at church. Like, I'll just chill. I didn't want to be no preacher, man. But I wanted to be a TV news reporter. I mean, I done did interns at CNN, TBS, TNT, my local station in my hometown. So I'm like, bro, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I know this is what God's called me to do. And let me tell you one thing that God does. God is so concerned about us, man, that He will snatch us out of our comfortability to put us in the place of uncomfortability. I always been able to talk, but when I teach, I can't give you my thought. I gotta give you God's words. That means I gotta study. So what I'm telling y'all is, man, when you're choosing what you want to do in life, you gotta make sure that you're walking in the purpose and the plan of God. Am I boring y'all? No. Okay. I'm just teaching tonight. Like, a lot of times I get up here and I'll be watching myself sometimes back and forth, and I do a lot of jokes and stuff, but I don't want y'all to be laughing. I want y'all to like actually be successful in your life. Are you listening to me? All right, so, and then I said, you must trust yourself. Everybody say, I must trust myself. You know, you, the best person that you can be. Everybody say your name. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Say it again. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Do you know that there's nobody like you? Nobody is better than you. You're right. Nobody looks better than you. You're right. Nobody can do what you can do. Let me tell you, I'm Quinton Cummings. Nobody can do what I can do. Hello. Nobody can do what you can do. Nobody can face the level of pain and pressure that you can face. Nobody can dress how you can dress. I don't give a freak who is out here doing lashes or doing what you're doing. Nobody can do what you can do. Let me just say this for the record, okay? Y'all ready? I do not care. Oh, Lord, should I say that? Say it. Just say it. I do not care. Lord, you know my heart. Lord, I do not care who does Bible study on the West Georgia campus. I am Quinton Cummings. And I'm planted by God. So whatever I do is going to prosper. Now, some people say, oh, you arrogant. No, that's not arrogant. It's just I know where my source comes from. And a lot of times, we don't be who God has called us to be because we have false humbleness. Somebody say, you did good. Oh, no, that's for the glory. Bro, you good at what you do. Like, people talk about you because you're good at what you do. And you have to wake up in the morning and you got to know that, man, like, nobody can beat me being me. And it's not that you're depending on you, because without God, I'm nothing. Without God, I can't do nothing, but I know who I am. And you got to know who you are. Nobody cannot handle the level of pressure, the level of pain that comes with what you want to do. And you got to know that since I'm planted by God, it don't matter what my family may not have done. It don't matter what my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, they want to be mediocre, they can do that. But I've been called to break generations. And let me just say this, I feel this. A lot of times why you have so much pressure is because God has called you to break the generational pain over your family's life. Let me ask you something. What if you're the generational breaker in your family's life? Because I'm going to tell you, hear this. Your greatest area of frustration will be your greatest area of blessing. So if you struggle with money or whatever, that's going to be your greatest area where God uses you to have wealth. So you have to understand, like, what is it in my family background that has brought over to me? And what I do is I make declarations. I don't give a darn what my mama, daddy, all of them dealt with. I don't know my daddy, but whatever he dealt with, I don't care what they dealt with. It stops with me. And that's why some of us go through, like, anybody, like, just let me know that I'm not by myself. Anybody just like, you be like, God, bro, darn, I just went through something. Like, why do I keep going through something over and over and over again? It's because God is trying to make something out of you. He's trying to build something that's going to be sustainable. Let me tell you, I heard somebody say, if you want to go far, you take people. If you want to go quick or something, I got to start doing these quotes. I'm not good with them tonight. My point of what I'm telling you is this. Some people are going to be successful before you. They are. Some people are going to be famous before you. But 2 years from now, you don't know who they are. Because one hit wonders, they don't got no backbone. Somebody just so happen to find out who they are. But I would rather build stamina for what God has called me to. And you got to know, man, and I keep saying it, nobody's like you. When God birthed you, your DNA sat on the earth, and God said it's only something that you're going to accomplish that nobody else on this earth can accomplish. And you have to know that when you walk out the plan of God for your life, there's only something in the earth that you're going to become. But my question is, man, why don't we become? Like, ask yourself that, like, why do we say on January 1 that we're going to do something, and then March we don't freaking do it? Like, ask yourself that, like, why do you do that? Why do we do that? And then we go to another year. This is my year. Oh, no, it's not. You're lying. It's not your year. Because God is not going to supersede your own will. Is this good what I'm saying? So you got to make sure, man, that you're consistent in the thing that God has called you to. And you got to make sure, bro, I told y'all last week, you do not need the people's support. If you waiting on good job, let me tell you, man, you already have missed while you're doing something. Because depending on how you make them feel, they may not say good job tonight. But you have to make sure that as you walk out the plan of God for your life, that you do it on such a level that you say, bro, you know what? I'm going to be consistent in this. Let me tell you, man, when David was anointed king in Samuel, I think it's chapter 16, when David was anointed king, David was outside tending to the sheep. David was doing the thing God told him to do, all of that. The Bible talks about when the prophet came, it was 8 sons. When he wanted the 7, the first time he says Eliab. He said, man looks at the outer appearance, but God looks at the heart. And then he goes through all the 7 sons. And here's the thing I love. Since David was planted by God, David did not come in the room and say, hey, I'm outside. The prophet said, it gotta be another son around here. Because when you are planted doing something privately, that's attractive to God. People will start calling you and they don't even know what you do. And so when they called David, David was anointed. But here's the key part that David did, y'all. When David was anointed, David did not go be king the next day. Y'all know what David did? David went back out to the pasture. What if God is calling you to something? And what if, not even God, like what if what you're working on, God has called you to it, and God say, I want to see how consistent you're going to be before I let somebody put their fingerprint on what it is that you need to do. Because a lot of us would love, if I had $1 million. No, you won't. If I had $1 million, somebody just came and discovered or found me right now, but you don't have no work ethic. You don't have no consistency. And when you have consistency, that becomes attractive to God. And when you're doing things in God, and when you're doing things God's way, and when you're doing things the way that God wants you to do it, it's not always going to make sense. It's not always going to go according to plan. It's not always going to go according to what you desire. But you got to make sure that whatever happened in the pressure in my life, that I got confidence in who I am, I got confidence in what I do, I got confidence in who God has called me to be, and I have confidence in what God has called me to do. All right, so here's the new stuff. Number 3, you can't depend, I think I talked about it, you can't depend on man's approval. Man will never and can never destroy what they didn't create. I'm going to say it again. A person cannot destroy what they didn't create. Do you know that the person that talking about you did not create you? God created you. So if somebody don't agree, like, let them be low life and don't agree. That's up to them. People don't have to agree. These are my notes. It says, individuals who depend on man's approval trust in the system of the word, the society, they don't trust in the kingdom. When people hate on you, people hate on their level. This is so good. We wrote this. People hate on their level of insecurity. Do you know that? People are insecure themselves, so they hate on you because you're great at what you do. Y'all look great, man. Okay, what happened on campus today? Something, it's like a wave over here. Like something must have happened. But let me tell you, you're great at what you do. Like, think about, man, what if this 2020 really could be your year to take off? Like, for real. I love seeing people start off. It's so cute to me. It is. It's very cute to me. I mean, people going hard. Insta stories. I'm like, okay, we get it. Like, I mean, I love it. But then 2 weeks later, it's like, what happened to, nobody didn't subscribe. The freak? What you mean nobody didn't subscribe, bro? When we started this Bible study, I think like 10 or 15 of y'all came. I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, God, are you sure? But people kept coming and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And I heard my pastor say this, and I'm gonna use this, like it was so good. He said, you gotta be married to the mission and not the method. The method says people gotta show up. It gotta be packed every week. It gotta be packed, overflowing. The mission says, I want to influence culture and impact people. So if 2K, they have done that now. Now we've seen them out to do that. Number 4. Everybody say number 4. Now this is one of my favorite ones. You can't be common, regular, or like the crowd. The Bible says in Proverbs 23:7, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith to thee, but his heart is not with thee. As a man thinking in his heart, so is he. Question. Whatever you think, you will be able to have in your life. Your faith will work if you're common, but it's limited. Your faith will work. Listen, if you're common, your faith will be limited. Your source will be the favor of men and not the favor of God. So if you are a common person, like I'm gonna be regular degular, like I'm just gonna do what everybody else do, you will have favor, but it won't be God's favor. You'll have favor with people, like people will do stuff for you, but I want to have favor with God. Everybody say God's favor. And what God's favor does is, man, God's favor allows you, God's favor will break the rules for you. Like, I think I do anyway. I try to live so much in God's favor that I would know it's a rule, but I'm going to go ask what I want anyway because I live with God. So I don't care what the rules are. Because I'm planted by God, God breaks rules for me. Do you know that God can accelerate you in 1 second? But it's dependent on your level of trust and your level of faith in Him. I taught y'all last week, man, that faith is it was the first thing I learned when I first started submitting my life to Christ. Because I wanted to make sure that my faith was grounded in something beyond my desire. It takes faith. Y'all have, remember I did last week, I had y'all stand up and y'all sat down? That was faith. When you go to your car, you don't think, well, some of y'all car may, but I know when I get in my car, I don't be thinking like if it's going to crank or not. I know it's going to crank if I got gas in it. It better? Because I'll call Nissan if it don't. Come on. I call my car Mercedes though. So I call the Benz people if it don't. You got faith. But my question is, why aren't you using your faith to work for you in what you want to do? How many of us, if I had $1 million right now, how many of y'all would want $1 million if I could give it to you? We're gonna have a conversation. Because we're about to do this. Everybody want, if I had $1 million right now, $1 million, and I said, whoever raised their hand first, I'm gonna give you $1 million. When I open my eyes, whoever hand is up first, I'll give you $1 million. 1, 2, 3. Who I wanna call on? I wanna call on you right here. You. Yes. What's your name? Jacayla. How you doing, Jacayla? I'm Quinton. Nice to meet you. If I gave you $1 million, Jacayla, what are you doing with it?
I'm investing.
Come on. Jacayla, now see, that's good. I can't use you. Come on, multiply. That's right. But a lot of people, Jacayla, will want that money, but they have not been processing over time to receive what they want from God. Do you know that preparation prepares you for the purpose of God in your life? Like, what are you doing right now? This may not be the best message that hype everybody up, but this is the message I think helps people when you're trying to become something. Like, what are you doing right now that's going to help you be successful in your life? And this is biblical. David was preparing out in the field, and he became king. You got to prepare while nobody's watching, man. Everybody want $1 million. What you gonna? Investing, that's really good. I like that. But most people, I'm gonna go buy me a Bentley, bro. I'm gonna go do this, and you're gonna be broke. And what's interesting to me, most people who are building something, you got $1 million, they don't even know what to do with it because they have not been preparing for what it is that they've been called to do. So you got to make sure that you can't be common, you can't be regular. Let me tell you, man, some of y'all want to fit in with y'all friends and y'all crowd too much. That's why you aren't successful. If you got 3 broke friends, smarts, what do you think you're going to be? The same grace. That's right. If none of your friends think on the level of the future, all of y'all going to be, and some of us, we recycle friends for parties and not for purpose. We recycle friends just to say we got them. Like, we eat together, we going shopping, we doing this. But when it comes to me, hey, how we going to do this business together? Well, I don't know about that. What you mean? Like, why are we even in the same circle together, man? Everybody say, I'm not regular.
I'm not regular.
And when you know you're not regular, you can be by yourself sometimes. Let me tell you, man, one thing I've learned on my journey of being, and I'm not even half of what I know God has called me to do, but God has done great things. And one thing I know that has helped me, and it hurt like hell, but I'm going to tell you what helped me. What helped me was I perfected being by myself. I go make me an egg. That's the only thing I know how to cook. An egg. French toast sticks. A sausage. And some grapes. You got to perfect being by yourself. You got to perfect having friends in your life and say, you know what? Well, I love you, but you can't go with me to my next. Like, we good, but you can't go with me to where God is calling me to. And I don't care if you're pissed off. Some of us, we care about people too much, and that's why we aren't successful. Well, they're going to be hurt. Bro, I do not care about you being hurt. I got to reach purpose. I got to reach the plan of God for my life. I got to do what God has called me to do. And when you sometimes be by yourself, you just be like, bro, like, darn, like, I really get, like, man, when I'm by myself, bro, I write so much in my book of affirmations of what I want God to do. And y'all know the thing I love about God? It's amazing to me now. Y'all know my favorite scripture. When I start saying y'all gonna do it, the Bible says in Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write the vision, make it plain so it can be read. Oh, let me tell you, if you don't get nothing I tell you tonight, you gotta get this. Write the vision, make it plain. So now listen to me. I'll tell somebody today. Bro, I wrote down of literally what is happening in Kennesaw for our kickback. I wrote it down in my paper. And God allowed it to be made happen. I wrote it down, and everything I write down, God started performing in my life. If you want it, you need to write it. If it's in God's will. Some of y'all gonna write, I want a man. It gotta be in God's will though, you know? So I write stuff. I mean, sometimes I take this book everywhere I go because if I see something, I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna write that down. I write it down because I know what I want God to do. Some of y'all, I tell you, talk to him. Some of y'all are telling y'all friends all y'all dreams, and your friends can't facilitate the dream, but God can. Your friends can't do nothing for your dream, but hate on your dream. But God says, and I'm going to tell you, man, I'm teaching you principle. This is a biblical principle. You write it down, I submit it to God, and if God going to do it, bro, do it. Because I wrote it down. And it's a point of reference. The Bible says, remind me of the promises that I've given you. So when I say, God, now this is what you said. I ain't say this, you said this. I say, God, you said that this is what we're going to do. So you got to make this happen because this is what you said. You got to put God at his word. Everybody say, I got to write down what I want God to do. So can we start? Let's do that. Can y'all do that for me? I want y'all over the next day. Whatever, I mean, I'm telling you, man, I write down some crazy stuff in here. I want y'all to write down what you want God to do. Stop putting it on Instagram and write it in your book. Because a lot of times, I feel this right here. A lot of times, do y'all know in the Bible, they killed all the kings that was babies at the time? Because it's easier, I heard somebody say, it's easier to kill a king in seed form. A lot of us are not purposeful in reaching the plan of God for our life because we put it on Instagram when it's in seed form. When God say, I need you to cultivate that a little bit. But if you write it down, I will send somebody to cultivate what I call you to do. Let me tell y'all something, man, and y'all don't believe this, but I'm going to tell you. I wrote down what I want to kick back at West to be. Do y'all know that the place where I am, and not exposing too much, but pretty much everything I want to kick back, whatever money I need, is going to be available. I didn't ask for it, but I wrote it. So tell your friends we got food coming back, okay? So they can start coming back. It don't matter, man, because when I'm planted by God, he gives me what I desire. And I don't fray away from what I said God said he's going to do. I write down what I want God to do. I write down how I want God to do it. The Bible even talks about being specific in the promises of God for your life. God, I want a business. Okay, no, God, I want a business. I want you to send me a graphic designer. I want you to send me somebody who's able to get the state and corporate. God, I want you all of this. You got to write down what you want God to do. The first part of the year, I felt God was like, bro, he's going to buy you a book. I didn't do it for a long time. But I said,
do you write down and like read over it, or you just write down?
I do read over it because sometimes I get discouraged in what I do. But when I start writing it down, I say, oh, God, he's going to do that. So he's going to do it at some point.
Like, do you read over it daily? Or just like
I try to read over it daily, but I don't have time sometimes to read over it daily. But when I'm having a bad day or something, I just go through and say, God, this is what you said. God, this is what you, okay, right here. I said, Kid Back at KSU will be a multicultural move of the Spirit of God. Who went last week? We got black, we got white. One Indian boy said, these words were so good, bro. Like, we got Indian, we got Chinese. I said it, not a day. God said it, I wrote it, and now we living in it. I was like, literally, bro, what if what you want to happen in your life, all you gotta do is write it, and God say, I do it. Like, what if it was that simple? And I don't know why God wants us to write it. I ain't got that far. But I write it. Biblical principle work. Write the vision, make it plain, so it can be read on the go. If somebody want to come and fund everything I do, you know what I got to do? Bro, here go the book. Here go my book. So whatever you need to do, you can do. That's how we start seeing the promises of God on our life. And let me tell you something, man. You got to start saying good stuff. You got to start even affirming yourself. I'm beautiful. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. It don't matter if you failing all your classes right now. Go to get some help. What's it called? Tutoring. Get some help. But you start writing what you want to see. God, I'm gonna pass every class. I'm gonna make all A's. My family gonna be healed, God. Here go one. I'm gonna forgive, God. I'm gonna let some stuff go from my past. Because a lot of times we want success, and God said, bro, sis, I'm not giving you no daggum success until you forgive your friend from 5 years ago. Because a lot of times, unforgiveness is the holding pattern for the blessing of God. And a lot of times, the Bible says, those who don't forgive, it says, when you have unforgiveness in your heart, you won't inherit the kingdom and the promise of God. All God is saying is, sometimes you just need to forgive your mama for not being the best mama that you want her to be. Forgive your daddy for not being there. Forgive people in your life who said they was going to be there for you and they hurt you. And forgiving, a lot of times you're not able to call people and forgive them. Sometimes you're just not able to do it. So sometimes you have to, because forgiveness, I believe more so, forgiveness is a heart posture. It's not so much of me saying, and sometimes we forgive, I'm sorry. That ain't forgiveness, bro. That's acknowledgement of something I may have done. But forgiveness is saying, I acknowledge, and what pisses me off when people forgive is, I don't think I did nothing wrong. But, don't do that. Like, you know, people be like, I don't think I did nothing wrong. However, I am sorry. Bro, you can keep that. That's justification for you trying to blame something on somebody else. You got to forgive, man. Forgiveness is like a plague. Forgiveness is a plague. You will go year after year after year, and you won't forgive nobody. You will have all this unforgiveness in your heart, and then you say, God, I'm going to open up my business. But God, see, got all this weight of unforgiveness on you. How in the world will let you open up a business that's going to serve people, and you can't even forgive your family? You got to forgive. And let me tell you, forgiveness don't mean that we back cool. Forgiveness means I ain't even doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. So forgiveness means, you know what? I ain't even mad no more. And let me tell you, it's not wrong being angry. You know what the Bible says? The Bible says be angry but sin not. You can be pissed off at him. You may have to cuss him out. But after you cuss him and do all of that, go and forgive him. And let me ask y'all something, man, for real. Why would you have somebody who's insignificant in your life hold you from reaching your purpose? Somebody who don't even freaking matter to you. You don't even think about them in the morning, but they hold you from reaching your purpose. Do y'all know people have unforgiveness with people who dead? It's like, well, they sleep, literally. So why won't you forgive them? All of these, man, are principles that have helped me do what God has called me to do. Do I have trouble? Heck, yes, all the time. This week, I'm going to tell you, I said I was going to tell y'all this, but I can't help it. This week, man, I was literally about to get in my car and go home. Like, to my own time. I said, God, help this. I don't have time for it. I don't have to do a Bible study. This week with God, I don't have to do a Bible study. I don't have to go to Kennesaw, God. I don't have to work in no church. I ain't got to make sure people get to church on Sunday. I said, God, I ain't got to do that. But then I started thinking about my why. I said, God, why did I get into this? Because of the pressure is going to get me out of this. That means another pressure is going to come. And I can't be no punk and keep running every time pressure comes. I got to stand and be a man and say what God's going to do. I got to stand flat-footed and say it don't matter what the enemy's saying. I know that God is on my side. Bro, you can run away from your issue, but things are going to come. That's how you build your faith. So I'm like, bro, I'm out of time. I don't. No. And then what's interesting to me, I told God, I'm like, God, I am at, like, honestly, humbly speaking, I'm at one of the highest places I've ever been in my ministry. Do y'all know the influence that we have in what we do, y'all? Don't just see it for no Instagram followers now. We have so many people watching what we do right here. And I'm like, God, why would you give me this influence and have all these people following me and we blessing them and we helping, and I'm going through hell right now, God? Like, this is not no fake, this is for real. So I'm like, God, I'm going through hell. Like, God, how am I going to do all this? And then God placed in my heart, he said, first of all, you're breaking a generational curse, so you calm down. I said, okay, God, check. I understand that. But you know what I gotta do? I still have to get up, pray, read my word, because one of y'all may be about to commit suicide. One of y'all may be about to give up on your purpose. And the words that come out of my mouth through God may save you from doing it. So I gotta die to how I feel. If you do not have a significance in your why, every time something come up, bro, you're gonna quit. And I said, I got too much mouth to be quitting around here. I'm Quinton Cummings, bro. I don't quit. I may pause, but I'm never gonna quit. I ain't quitting nothing. I'm gonna think about it, but I'm not gonna quit. Because the greatest thing the enemy wants me to do is say, bro, you know what? I got you. I gave up. That's all I want you to do. I can't give up. I can't quit. So my point of me saying that to you today is you can't give up. You can't quit. You have no choice. You can't stop. You can't. You can't stop on the promise of God for your life. Because when I wrote in my journal, I did not say, God, if everything goes well, I want you to do this. No, I just said, God, this is what I want you to do. So I cannot quit on the purpose of God for my life. And literally, when the pressure comes, when the pressure happens in your life, when it gets to the point where it's like, bro, I cannot take no freaking more. Like, it's no more I can take. Like, I knew I was stressed. I had 2 little bumps point out just like this one morning. I said, oh no, I can't be like that. I went and bought some Clean and Clear. It was all over my face. But you have to make sure, man, that you stick to the promise and the plan of God for your life, and you say, I cannot quit. And when you can't quit, what I did was, bro, one morning, it was the other morning, the Lord kind of woke me up at like 3:45. I just started cleaning, doing stuff. And I'm thinking God woke me up to clean, you know, do stuff like that. A lot of times when you got to pee, that's God saying pray, really, to be honest. So I woke up, cleaning, and then I said, I'm going to take a shower because I don't want to go to bed funky, so I'm just take a shower. And I got in the shower, and it's just, God literally like broke me down to get back to Him. So I started saying like, and I don't like to cry now. I'll be like, all right, God. So I try to get in the water so I won't see Him. So, you know, I'm like, God, you know, just toe up. And so I just get to the place, man, where I sit there and I submit my life back to God. Because do you know this? You could be doing God's work and be outside of God's will. And I said, God, first of all, I'm doing too much to be outside your will now. So I got there and I prayed to God and I said, God, listen, I feel this is what you call me to do. I feel, God, that this is what you want me to do. Everything I do, God, right now in my life, it's so, listen, God, it's so easy for me to go home. Like, my family want me to come back. That's so easy for me to do. But God, I said, and I tell God, I said, God, I am Quinton Maurice Cummings. I can't quit, God. So I said, God, you got an option. 2 options. You can relieve the pain, or I can stop. We can stop this. But then I get a civility in my heart, and no cap, I was telling somebody this the other day, literally, y'all, don't think I'm lying, literally, this is what happens. When I want to quit, I literally see y'all faces in my head. I'm like, God, I can't quit. We got too many people, God. Even if it was one person, God, I cannot quit. So I got on my knees and literally prayed in my shower. And when I got out, I felt good. And situation still did not change. I said, all right, now God. But then my faith has to not be based off the benefits of God, but be based off the sovereignty of God. Don't just serve God because you want to be blessed. Serve God because He loves you. And so I said, God, we're going to rock it out. We're going to make it happen. And the interesting thing about God, I'm telling you how funny God is, man. I took somebody, I dropped them off somewhere, I think, and they started talking to me about their issue. I said, well, darn. So I had to just get out of my little self and be like, bro, God's gonna make a way. It's gonna be powerful, like it's gonna work. Because just because you're going through pain, don't stop your purpose. So I said, God, okay, we with you. This is what we're gonna do. And do y'all know, man, today, things I didn't ask for, God did for me. I didn't ask for stuff, but God did it because although the pressure got deep, my posture in God did not change. And I'm telling y'all tonight, man, it don't matter what it is that you want to do in your life. It don't matter what it is the success you want to reach or where you want to go. If God want to do something in your life, literally through hell and high water, He gonna do it. But the question is, will you trust God beyond what you can see? And we clap for that. That's all I got.